You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation, and this is the story of why you should never give up in a race. This was the Nations Cup round the Grand Valley where we were driving the incredibly difficult Red Bull X competition car, and somehow I managed to qualify in 4th place, but after that I had an unfortunate incident. But I think the best way to understand what can really happen in a long race like this one is to watch this video and tell me what do you think about it in the end. Was it worth it or not?
No.
At first, I did not plan to make that move. It just wasn't a part of my strategy. I really wanted to stay consistent, really get a feel for the tires, because usually the qualifying is done on the softs, and then the best strategy is to start on the mediums in the race. So just trying to find the rhythm with this car, because it can slide quite a bit. So maintaining that flow is really, really important, because once you lose this car, you lose it. So this car works best when you're up to speed because of the strong downforce. And then when you slow down or just find yourself in a difficult spot, you can really break that rhythm and risk, well, losing the car eventually. So at that point, I was just trying to stay as close as possible to the front too. But with this car, I guess you can never really know what might happen.
No. Wrong.
Oh yeah, I mean, usually I exited that corner in 3rd gear, but somehow I went out in 2nd, and the car just snapped. I guess this is the story of my life. I mean, you probably noticed that I really didn't talk too much during this whole lap and just this whole race, because it's really tough to drive this thing, as you probably know already. But for the next lap, I tried to keep everything under control and just stay close to the guys in front. But just as I was about to hit my first braking point in the lap, something completely unexpected happened.
We are both off. Done and done. That's why you don't fight too early.
To be fair, that's quite a good overtaking spot, and they just went side by side. Unfortunately, it did not end in a disaster, so they just overshoot the corner and nothing too bad happened. But this gave me and Lewis a few places, which is definitely something I cannot ignore. And from there, I really tried to keep up with Lewis and really stay as close as possible without taking unnecessary risks. The main goal was just to keep the rhythm, stay consistent, and of course, save the tires, and wait for that right moment. Then Lewis made a small mistake, and we went side by side. As we climbed up the hill, I lifted a bit and just tucked behind in the slipstream because I didn't want to fight too early and lose time. But when there is a chance, I will definitely go for it. And just like that, I was in the lead. The race started to look really good for me. I mean, fighting for the win, well, it actually feels quite good. So definitely not a bad position to be in. So I held the lead for that one lap, but I knew it wouldn't be easy because the guys behind me were seriously quick. Then, just one lap later, all that hope came crashing down.
Whoa. Oh, what? Why? What are you doing?
And yeah, spinning. Definitely not what I wanted to see in this race. And after that, I just wanted to check the replay to understand what exactly happened. But before I could do that, I mean, I already lost a couple positions and dropped to 10th place. And after reviewing the replay, I think it was just an unfortunate situation. The first move was quite optimistic, to be fair. But after all, I have a feeling like this extra tap caused it all. I mean, I just have to say, everyone makes those kind of moves sometimes. And I had to look at it from a different angles and really try to be realistic about the whole situation, even though I have to say that I was a little bit angry at the moment. Actually, angry might not be the right word for all of that, but in the end, I was on a mission to get a few positions back and really turn this into something really positive. After that, he had a 4-second penalty to serve, which actually promoted me in 8th place. Well, he didn't serve it, I just overtook him because he had damage. So I kind of already gained 2 positions. I mean, the whole situation that happened before is, I'm not going to say normal with these cars, but it does happen. So it usually turns into a big mess. Not the type of mess you really want to see in races like these, but this is just how it goes with this car. These cars are incredibly difficult to control, and things like this happen. Still, I was on a mission now to catch those guys ahead, and as I said before, turn this into something truly positive. So, within a few laps, I managed to get into the slipstream of a guy in front, which, well, actually slipstream is quite powerful here, so that gave me a solid advantage. I really focused on positioning the car perfectly for that overtake, and then when that moment came, just going for it. And with that move, think about leaving a like or potentially even subscribing to the channel, because the road to 100k subs is now closer than ever. And after that, I was up in 7th place, which definitely wasn't bad. But as the race went on, it got harder and harder to find more time, because I started pushing this car. But the key to this race was tire management, and honestly, my tires were not in the great shape. So I just pushed hard to get those few positions back, but the tire wear doesn't go along with that. And eventually, I made it up to 6th place and went for that move, which I managed to make stick. But the problem was that now I was the one breaking the air and trying to maximize every bit of pace or every exit that I had. And after a few laps, I noticed that my tires were really starting to fade. But I guess I just kept on pushing as much as I possibly could. I didn't want to kind of make a really desperate move and risk the whole situation, especially knowing what can happen in a race like this one and where I am at this point. Still, I knew that if I wanted to make some progress, I will have to go for it sooner or later. I just stayed behind them a little bit, trying to save those tires a bit, I guess. But at that point, there was nothing much left to save. And eventually, I got that overtake done. And I think he even lifted a bit on the straight to let me go through. But as it usually goes with me, I got so focused that, well, I got over-focused and slightly missed my braking point. And on those worn tires, it didn't go well. I lost the position again. Then came probably the most crucial lap of all, lap 20. The car was sliding all around the place. It was almost impossible to control it, and honestly, I don't even know how I managed to get it back into the pits. The tires were completely gone, and I was driving super carefully. I mean, as careful as I possibly could, but somehow I got it into the pits and was actually able to get another stint, but now on the softs. I made it. I'll get on that podium. Determination was definitely there, and when I came out of the pits, I noticed that the Polish driver in front had a 3-second penalty for cutting the pit entry, which just got me another place. I mean, I don't usually like to get places in that way, but a place is a place. And then another driver had to pit, so I picked up yet another one. But now, looking at the whole situation altogether, the driver that unfortunately caused the incident that I had, I have to say that he apologized later, pitted 1 lap earlier than the rest of us, which meant that now, for the rest of this race, his tires will be in the worst shape and his pace will definitely drop. So I have a pretty solid shot of actually getting something out of this. So I knew that I will eventually catch him. So it made the whole effort worth it. I mean, just going for it, having a goal, and just trying to get that goal. And I actually felt like I could really recover something from this race. But now, it took me just about 17 laps to get here, and I knew that I just had to go for it. I just had to push, and I just have to get that gap down. And as the laps went by, I began pushing harder and harder, and the gap started to shrink. And I could see the target clearly now. And I kind of began preparing myself for the overtake. And when that moment finally came, I really didn't hesitate too much. I just went for it. And after that, I finally got it done. Finally. I was in that 4th place, which was something I definitely did not expect after that crash when I got back in 10th place. And at this point, I thought my race was over. Okay, 4th place, not that bad. But I kept on pushing, really tried to do something about it, even though at this point there wasn't really much to get. But you know what, after all, I think all of that effort really started to pay off at this point, and I was happy about this race now. Just when I thought the race was about to finish, something quite interesting happened. And just to give you some context here, we were required to use 2 different tire compounds in this race. But apparently, someone didn't get the memo.
B3 actually. B3. It looks like he didn't get the memo. B3. 358 points. Oh, thank you very much, guys, for watching.